My great-grandmother came to this school, my grandfather and my dad. And so when we came, the school was so old that when it would rain inside of the school.
Lorraine Grandma Camacho was my mother. All four of her children went to Metz. Four of her grandchildren, five of her grandchildren went to Metz.
So many generations have come to school here from my family.
Empecé en 1972. Hace mucho tiempo, ¿verdad?
My mom and dad came to Metz. A lot of my uncles and aunts, and a lot of my cousins.
Nice to know that I'm part of something here.
The streets were not paved. They were all dirt streets. We didn't have any sidewalks. The majority of the people that lived in our neighborhood were Hispanic.
In the old Metz, we used to have a huge auditorium. I thought it was so big.
And when it was my turn, I went to the shelf and got the big stack. There must have been about 15 boxes of colors, and I dropped them all on the floor. All the tops came off, all the colors went flying all over the floor.
So I wrote a little book, and I had one of my fellow classmates illustrate the book, drew pictures in it. And the name of the book was The Itsy Bitsy Family. It was about a little family that had little pets and little toys and, you know, that kind of thing.
I used to have maypole dances in May. I had lots of fun when I was here.
And the boys had to dance with the girls.
Oh, yeah, and hold their hands.
English. Started school, I didn't know how to speak English, so I learned, and I had to speak English in school. We weren't allowed to speak Spanish. You guys got it made.
But if you spoke Spanish, we got punished. Some of the teachers would put soap in your mouth. When we came to this school, there were nothing but white teachers. There were no Mexican teachers or Mexican-American teachers. So they were older teachers, most of them. So some of them were a little bit tough on our kids, especially the ones that spoke Spanish.
I always stressed education. I always stressed caring for your community, caring for the youth, because of the fact that y'all will be the next generation to live in our neighborhood and take care of our neighborhood and bring up your own children in our neighborhood.
So she was like everybody's grandmother for all the kids. For about 4 or 5 generations of children who came to Metz, she was their grandmother.
He was sweet, sweet, and she was always walking down the halls telling everybody, good morning, and don't forget to listen to the teachers and do the best work you can.
Metz Publishing Company. Here's the Metz Publishing Company. When the kids used to make the books, parents did all the typing. They bought up like 3 or 4 typewriters, and the mothers and dads would come in and do the typing, if I remember right. They were checked and rechecked. You know how you have to edit your work?
My older sister and brother, who my sister is, 43? And my brother's like 39 or 40. They said that when they came to Metz, that they, at that time, they would give out spankings. If you were bad, you were sent to the principal and you actually got a spanking.
There was in the holidays, they'd have the posadas, and we'd go around the whole school, and there was always food.
We actually wrote the school song for Metz. I remember having to sit down with a bunch of other students and we had to write the song.
At that time, they were going to start busing people, and I don't know if you know what that means. They were going to send kids from this neighborhood to another school, like a real far
Across
school,
town.
just so they can get kids to meet other kids in another neighborhood. We didn't want to. So my mom sent us to another school where actually your teacher went also.
My parents didn't think it was right for us to be bused a long distance since we lived in East Austin and the school was out up north.
Cuando yo estuve aquí había muchas clases bilingües, la mayor parte era bilingüe, sino muchas maestras te hablaban español.
My Miss Rice, kindergarten. She was my homeroom teacher, and we had to go to another classroom to learn Spanish. That was Miss Ramirez. Like, did a split day.
I had
bilingual teachers, and I had trouble in some of my classes with English, and so I got mad at my mom when I was little. This was a dumb mistake in case any of you guys do this. I got mad at my mom and I told her I didn't want her to speak Spanish to me anymore.
Cuando llegué aquí no habían muchos libros en español y tuve que escribir muchas cosas a mano o hacer copias de cosas. Eso fue un gran problema cuando llegué porque no había mucha gente, muchas cosas en español, pero muchos niños sí hablaban español.
When I was young, I was younger than you guys when he was here, and just remember I didn't want to ever eat grapes again.
Nos vino a hablar y los niños estaban todos emocionados y las maestras también porque nunca hemos tenido una persona tan importante visitar a nuestra escuelita chiquita.
Tiene la fama de ser un barrio muy fuerte para los derechos de los mexicanos y México-americanos, porque esta escuela es media nueva, ¿verdad? Y la gente de este barrio, la comunidad, marcharon para mostrar al público, a la ciudad, que necesitaban escuelas mejores en Metz.
My daughter was coming to school here when one of the roofs collapsed in the classroom next door to hers. So I fought very hard with other parents and grandparents and fought for her in school, and that's why we have this beautiful school today.
And the people at the school district said we needed more room because the school was too small. And then we needed to expand. There were some people who had houses, and many of them didn't want to have to necessarily move.
La escuela nomás estaba de la Willow a la Kenneberry y luego movieron un bloque más para que hubiera más espacio. Se quitaron casas de esta calle.
That was our backyard.
That tree was in our backyard.
Which tree? That one right there. This big
Okay.
one right here.
Okay.
It was 1990. That was the exact year, 1990, when we had to move. And there was a deadline. We had to be out by a certain time, and that was it. And everybody was out. It's probably a good thing because we probably never would have moved. My dad never wanted to move out of that house. So we would probably still, my mom and dad would probably still be living there if they had never made them move.
We had to bus our children to Metz Elementary, so that meant, every morning Grandma and I would get up and we'd meet all the kids on the corner and we'd wait and we'd ride the bus with them to Webb. And then in the afternoon we'd go back in the bus and ride back home with them.
And I also remember Grandma Camacho. Grandma Camacho, she was the one, sometimes right in the middle of the meeting when everybody didn't want to say anything. And she would get up and she would say it.
And a new beginning here for the children.
And so everything you see here, my crew and me, we all had to have it in our heads. They wanted to feel like it belonged in the neighborhood. They wanted to make it feel like it had been here a very, very long time. So the year before we left, the art teacher and my partner Richard Calloway came up with this wonderful idea that we would have all the children make a bunch of tiles.
En ese tiempo me imaginé que era una bailadora de ballet folclórico. ¿Sabes lo que es el ballet folclórico? Yo bailaba ballet folclórico antes, tanto como mis hermanas y mi hermano. Y en ese tiempo pensé que iba a dibujar una, si no se me hizo fácil y en mi imaginación se parecía mucho.
Oh, getting to work with so many children and so many teachers, that was the most fun. Opening the computer lab and adding all those computers to the classroom, that was a lot of fun and and I see you all have a bunch in your classroom now. Every Friday we would sing the Metz song.
We do that.
We still do it, and we'd sing it with lots of gusto, everybody very enthusiastic.
And is for marvelous and marvelous are things.
But the best role models I had were my teachers.
He is for eternity, forever we will be.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Tienen una maestra, como les dije a ellos, muy estupenda. Aprovechen que la tienen porque ella ha dado todos los básicos que yo he necesitado para seguir en la escuela.
Miren, la señora Reyes.
Miss
¿Todavía
Reyes.
trabaja aquí?
Sí.
Oh,
limpia
y
la
el
cafetería.
señor Reyes.
Yeah.
Sí. Ajá.
Señor Reggie.
Oh, they are wonderful people.
Okay. 2 generations right here.
M-E-T-Z, Metz is the best.
Has a teacher that one of my family members had also.
M-E-T-Z, better than the rest.
I've got one.